علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. Inshallah, tonight we will, or this evening perhaps, we will start one of the diseases of the heart from the book of purification of the heart. And inshallah, we will cover one of the shorter ones, inshallah, tonight. Hopefully that we could cover a good portion of this book. That would be great, inshallah. So the title for tonight, inshallah, that we want to cover, the love of this world, the love of the world, which is one of the diseases of the heart. And one of the things that the Prophet ﷺ said, that حب الدنيا رأس كل خطيئة, that the love of the world is the root cause of every sin. 271. So the world that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created in itself, in its essence, Allah created it, and it's the creation of God, and God made this world and the things that it contains as beneficial, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes, هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ لَكُمْ مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا, that Allah created everything on the earth for your benefit, for your sake. Lakum here, lam, it's one letter, but the scholars have many meanings and differed on different meanings of this word, of this letter in particular. Does it mean reflecting, or it means benefit, and so on and so forth? So many meanings that could this indicate to, but definitely one of the meanings is that Allah made this world something that we can benefit from. All the things that we have, and the gadgets, and the wealth, and everything that we acquire, it's something that is beneficial to us for ourselves. Either it's beneficial physically, or it's beneficial spiritually, or it's beneficial in terms of family, and so on and so forth. So, the Prophet ﷺ wanted us to understand the concept of the world from its in terms of its value. As long as we are in this world and you are in contact with the worldly things, we take it and we use it and we benefit from it, and there is benefit in that. To that extent is great and it's beneficial. Beyond that is just there is no scope for it, because as the Prophet ﷺ ordered us to be the kunu abna al-akhirah wa la takunu min abna'i dunya, that be the son of the hereafter and do not be the son of the world. So ibn here, it's used in so many different ways. Ibn al-waqt, as we mentioned last time. Here, ibn al-dunya it means someone who is just after the world, right? You are an outcome of this world, right? Just like a child is from the parents. So don't be so dependent on the world that you become like a child that is, always running after the mama. I have an ewe that, mashallah, has a baby lamb, and the baby just doesn't want to leave the mom. It's been 2 months and trying to wean it, but it just doesn't want to, right? And we have to wean them away, and they're crying. The mom is crying, especially the baby cries more because it's losing that suckling, that milk from the mom. And that's how the world is, that you get so used to it that it's hard to leave it. And therefore we have the concept in this beautiful tradition of the importance of wiratha, that when you are gaining wealth, you don't just gain wealth to just accumulate and to be selfish about it and that I want to benefit from it. You live rich and you die poor concept is just a very poor concept. That you want to live poor and die rich. Why? Because you want to work hard and leave that wealth for others to benefit from. Because it is true that whatever you earn and you consume, that's yours. And according to the hadith definition, that's yours. Whatever you haven't consumed is not yours until you eat it and it's gone. That's yours. So there's this concept of this, make, and save, and then retire and just enjoy and just burn all that money until you get the age of 80 and now you're in an old home and you're ready to move on. You say, I have done it all. I'm ready to go. A lot of people say that. What do you leave for your children? What did you leave? That's something that is encouraged in our tradition. In Islam, we have the concept of irth, of mirath, is that you acquire wealth, whatever it's for yourself, whatever you need, you use it, and you leave it for your family. أن تدع عالتك أغنياء خير لك من أن تدع معالة يكف الناس. That the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ was Sa'ad ibn Mu'adh when he was dying, and the Prophet ﷺ, he asked the Prophet ﷺ, how much should I give out in charity? He said, keep. He kept on telling him, keep more. And then he said that he should keep more for your children, so they grow up and they are independent, right? And they're not going out and asking help from other people, and they're not dependent on others. They are self-sufficient because you left them enough wealth, right? The story of the people of the cave, the people, Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad, in Surah Al-Kahf, the story of Musa alayhi salam and Khidr, and right there, they're traveling and fixing this wall, and there was a treasure. That was 7 generations. That wealth, it went on for 7 generations. And the piety of the great-great-grandfather was that these children, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected them and protected the wealth. So this indicates also to acquire whatever you need and to earn, but going crazy about it and craving, and then wealth that, according to one hadith, that any wealth that puts you into an anxiety, where you have anxiety and you have stress that's building up, because the stock markets are going down and losing, or perhaps you lost your job. It's tough times, of course, but it wasn't for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not intend that for you. Whatever Allah is intended for you, you will get it. You cannot miss it. There's not a chance for you to miss out on what Allah has already prescribed for you. Allah has already distributed for you. Allah made that designation of all the wealth. So our job is to do what we can do and to do the best of our ability. You can't just say, I'm not going to do much, but I'm going to just hope that things are going to do well. You do your best, but you shouldn't feel that you're going to lose your sleep over it. We shouldn't be leaving sleep over of any loss of the worldly things, of wealth, whatever, job, money, damage in the house. No, my God, there's another $10,000 expense. That was already, Allah had already decided that. You couldn't have changed that. You couldn't do otherwise. And that's why the love of the world and the love of just acquiring money and hoarding, and that's why from that you have all these other diseases of the heart that stem out of it, which is bukhl and the shuh. So bukhl is being stingy. Shuh is that someone has it, I just want it. I have to have it. That guy, he has it, I have to have it. Right? Yeah. The Prophet ﷺ gave so many examples in so many beautiful ways. And once he was passing by a dead animal, and he said, who would want to buy this dead lamb from me? And the Sahaba said, well, we would never take it even for free. Even if it was for free, we wouldn't take it. And the Prophet ﷺ said that that's the world. That's ad-dunya jifa. Ad-dunya jifa wa talibuha kilab. Another hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, very beautiful hadith. Ad-dunya sijnul mu'min wa jannatul kafir. If we can just tonight take away this one hadith, it would just make our lives so easier. We would never, panic on certain losses that we see and that occurs to us, or things that happen to us, or bad things that happen, or excessive happiness when something good happens to us, that we just lose our minds. You won the lottery. Oh my God, people, sometimes they have a heart attack of happiness. كي لا تأسوا على ما فاتكم ولا تفرحوا بما آتاكم, right? That's the love of the dunya, right? MashaAllah, someone memorized Surah Al-Waqi'ah. MashaAllah, good job. Move on. That should be, wow. That's a wow, because that's akhirah, that's an everlasting. This hadith that I want to share, dunya sijnul mu'min wa jannatul kafir, that this world that we live in, it's a prison to a believer. It's a prison to a believer. And wa jannatul kafir, and it's a paradise, a garden to a disbeliever. There was a king, and he brought in this guy, pious person, very notable person in the community. His name is Daqiq al-Eid, famous saint, very known. And the king has this conversation, and he says that this world is the Jannatul Mu'min, Dunya Sijil Mu'min wa Jannatul Kafir. How is that? What do you have to say about that? And he said, Daqiq al-Eid said that for me, when I look at my destination, my akhirah, the place that I want to go, when I look at that, for you, that's you don't know where you're going. But for me, I know where I'm going. I want to be in that paradise. So when I look at this world, it's just a clutter of problems and trials and difficulties and jealousy and enmity and lying and cheating and deceiving, and also good stuff, and all the mixture of all of that. It's like a a big bowl of salad that has good stuff in it and all bad stuff in it. That's how I see my world. And for you, according to your next life, you are in paradise, because the difficulty that lies ahead, this is paradise. And that person, the king said, wow, that's so deep that I just want to accept Islam. And he accepted Islam. He said, the Prophet said the truth. So, ad-dunya sijnul mu'min wa jannatul kafir. The Prophet ﷺ said that this world is mal'unat mal'unatun ma fiha, that is cursed, and everything that is in it, it's cursed. There's also a Christian idea of being evil, that the world is evil, and the essence of it is evil, and And also there's this quote about that women is the evil of the world. However, we also have something, but it doesn't have the women part. It has the that is evil in a sense, that is mal'oon. It's a cursed, right? It's cursed. Um, except the things that are beneficial is the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and whatever is above that, meaning that anything that brings you to Allah, that's not dunya, and therefore it's not cursed, it's not mal'una. However, a thing that it looks like deen, it looks like akhirah, it looks like the hereafter, but in reality it's your dunya, right? People do a lot of good stuff, do a lot of good charity and pray and fasting and hajj and all of that, and they're just trying to make a name, get recognition, get a state in the community, you know make yourself look better, make yourself look pious than other people. So with those, then that becomes your dunya. That's your dunya. Someone asked Hassan al-Basri rahimahullah, um you know you know هل أتاك هل أتاك ألهاكم التكاثر, that this excessive wealth has put you in halaka, right? In a disaster, in destruction. And what does that mean? How is that a destruction? Because there is Uthman ibn Affan had a lot of wealth, and some other few other Sahaba had wealth. All the rest of the Sahaba, they were very average in terms of the wealth, and they basically didn't have much except later on after the Prophet ﷺ passed away, in time of Umar in particular. But normally didn't have. So how is that wealth is going to be a means of destruction? And then he said that anything ما ألهاك عن الله فهو دنياك, right? lahu, it means something that is not useful. It's just chilling, sitting, chatting out of just for no reason. That's lahu, right? And ma alhaka anillah, anything that puts you into lahu, into a heedless state, or it takes you away from God, and that becomes your dunya. Although it looks like your deen, that becomes, and sometimes your dunya that looks like dunya, and because it's a means of you getting you close to the akhirah, your next life, your hereafter, it becomes your akhirah. That act in particular becomes your akhirah, and therefore that dunya is praiseworthy, like earning for your family, your savings that you want to use it for good reasons, um, and any of that kind of earnings, and that kind of savings, and those kind of things that we have. Family is also dunya. Family, spouse is also dunya. um, and that's why the Prophet ﷺ said, خير متاع الدنيا المرأة الصالحة, that the best of the worldly things is a good, a pious wife, a pious wife. Um, you know, and it's a balance, and it's a give and take. You cannot have it all on each side, right? من أحب دنياه أضر بآخرته. Whoever loves the dunya, he will harm his hereafter. And whoever ومن أحب آخرته أضر بدنياه. And whoever loves the akhirah, he's going to sort of give up some kind of sacrifice on his worldly things, right? He will have to take off for perhaps maybe a day or two for Ramadan, and for Eid, and for Hajj, and for other religious holidays. You'll have to take off sometimes. You'll have to take out some of that money that you have gathered and worked so hard for and take out 2.45%, which is not a lot. It's not a lot. Just take out that much and you give it in charity. So all of that, right? You'll have to give up something. You cannot have it both. You cannot have it both ways or have it all. There are certain exceptions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made, like Sulaiman alayhi salam. He was the king, right? The king prophet that, Allah gave him the wealth. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, however, on the other hand, was also um, given that choice. Sulaiman alayhi salam, he asked to be a king and to get that wealth. On the other hand, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given the choice and he said, "No, I don't want it. I don't want to be that example." He was supposed to be a uswa hasana for all the people who came after him. If he was the king and he had wealth and everything, the mass majority of and the vast majority of people all over the world will say, "Hey, that's a very rich man, who can be like Bill Gates, it's hard to compare." So the prophet had to be someone that anybody could, relate to and he could resemble him. So, right. So that's, there was a saying of very beautiful quote that, what is our situation that we want to have our dunya, at max, and we want our akhirah at max. I want everything in this world, and also I don't want to give up anything of my for my pleasure and comfort. There is a certain amount of difficulty. There is going to be a certain amount of, and is it worth it? It's definitely worth it. It's worth a lot more than that. Giving up 2.5% of your wealth, right? You already multiplied that by 10 times at least, and then in Ramadan 70 times. How much is that? If it's 2.5%, then that's 1/4 of your wealth if it's 10 times. And then you multiply that by 70 times. I need a calculator. Can someone type in what's the answer? 1/4. So you gave 2.5%, right? It was difficult to give that money out, but you gave it for the sake of Allah. You have to, right? For the sake of Allah. And right, you should give it with open heart and with a smiley face, and not say, "Oh my God, I have to give this money away." So 10 times at least, that's 1/4, right? 2.5 multiplied by 10 is 25. So that's 1/4 of your wealth, and you multiply that by 40. That's 10 times of your wealth. I think that's the answer. Is that correct? 10 times of your wealth. So if you had 100,000, you gave out 2,500 in your zakah, right? It's as if you have given 400,000 in donation, in charity. Look how generous Allah is. SubhanAllah. Can't even imagine. When you go out and you see nice views of this world, and you say that this world that the Prophet ﷺ said that is mal'una, that is a curse, and it's the least of whatever Allah has created. How would be that Jannah? Oh my God. I really want to get there. I think all of us want to get there, inshallah. We'll all be there, inshallah. Everybody say Ameen. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us the people of the hereafter. And whatever little time that we have in this world, it's gonna fly by, it's gonna pass by, and we just want to make sure. The poet, I was gonna say the sha'r, نرقع دنيانا بتمزيق ديننا, that we are making this world the main, our main project. The side things is what we do as religious things. It's our side business. نرقع, we're putting patches uh, on our نرقع دنيانا بتمزيق ديننا, that we're taking the dunya and we're putting a little patches of our deen, right? Just patches. So what happens in the end, right? When you have a what do you call, what are those inflatable boats or kayaks or paddle boards? When you have a patch, it won't last that long because that patch is going to burst one day and it's going to keep going bad. So neither you have your dunya nor your akhirah, so you lose both. فلا ديننا يبقى ولا ما نرقع. So that our deen, we never get it all because we're not concerned about it, and dunya also sometimes we lose that, so we lose both. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from the people of the akhirah, from the people of the akhirah, that we take our akhirah serious, and we take our akhirah serious by doing things seriously, and we take our dunya also serious, because we could make that into our deen, as I mentioned in the beginning. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put barakah in all of our wealth and all of our, and give us sustenance and give us barakah in our wealth and everything that we have and what we possess. And oh Allah, don't show us any calamity. One of the du'as of the Prophet ﷺ, and actually one of the du'as of my teacher, he used to always ask, he used to say that, he used to teach us, he told us that always ask Allah for wealth, and ask for wealth in abundance, and that you want to use that wealth for good. And oh Allah, protect me from using my wealth in anything that is disobedient to, anything that is wrong or sinning. So that's the key. Whatever you have, if you're using it in the right way, if you're using it in you're not doing anything wrong about it, alhamdulillah, right? Maybe Allah wants me to have this much, and that's good for me. Maybe if I got a lot more, if I got the amount that Bill Gates has, then maybe I would have been a big tyrant and I would have done crazy stuff. I would have destroyed the world. So Allah knows what is Allah. Allah knows what is good for us and what is beneficial to us. So whatever we have, may Allah make us thankful, and whatever Allah has given us, Allah put barakah in it. Make us shakir, make us happy, make us content, make us from those who gather money, but also put a big portion out to give to others, in particular to your next progeny, to your next generation, to invest in endowments, to invest in other things that they could benefit from it, and also that becomes a source for them to increase in their akhirah, in their, not just their dunya but their akhirah, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts barakah in our lives, in particular all those who support and help out in any way from our community. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. May Allah put barakah in your time and effort and energy. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Since we're on the topic of the dunya and the love of the world, of course, we want barakah. So with that intention, inshallah, we will recite Surah Waqi'ah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا وقعت الواقعة ليس لوقعتها كاذبة خافضة رافعة إذا رجت الأرض رجا وبست الجبال بسا فكانت هباء منبثا وكنتم أزواجا ثلاثة فأصحاب الميمنة ما أصحاب الميمنة وأصحاب المشأمة ما أصحاب المشأمة والسابقون السابقون أولئك المقربون في جنات النعيم ثلة من الأولين وقليل من الآخرين على سرر موضونة متكئين عليها متقابلين يطوف عليهم ولدان مخلدون بأكواب وأباريق وكأس من معين لا يصدعون عنها ولا ينزفون وفاكهة مما يتخيرون ولحم طير مما يشتهون وحور عين كأمثال اللؤلؤ المكنون جزاء بما كانوا يعملون لا يسمعون فيها لغوا ولا تأثيما إلا قيلا سلاما سلاما وأصحاب اليمين ما أصحاب اليمين في سدر مخضود وطلح منضود وظل ممدود وماء مسكوب وفاكهة كثيرة لا مقطوعة ولا ممنوعة وفرش مرفوعة إنا أنشأناهن إنشاء فجعلناهن أبكارا عربا أترابا لأصحاب اليمين ثلة من الأولين وثلة من الآخرين وأصحاب الشمال ما أصحاب الشمال في سموم وحميم وظل من يحموم لا بارد ولا كريم إنهم كانوا قبل ذلك مترفين وكانوا يصرون على الحنث العظيم وكانوا يقولون أئذا متنا وكنا ترابا وعظاما أئنا لمبعوثون أو آباؤنا الأولون قل إن الأولين والآخرين لمجموعون إلى ميقات يوم معلوم ثم إنكم أيها الضالون المكذبون لآكلون من شجر من زقوم فمالئون منها البطون فشاربون عليه من الحميم فشاربون شرب الهيم هذا نزلهم يوم الدين نحن خلقناكم فلولا تصدقون أفرأيتم ما تمنون أأنتم تخلقونه أم نحن الخالقون نحن قدرنا بينكم الموت وما نحن بمسبوقين على أن نبدل أمثالكم وننشئكم فيما لا تعلمون ولقد علمتم النشأة الأولى فلولا تذكرون أفرأيتم ما تحرثون أأنتم تزرعونه أم نحن الزارعون لو نشاء لجعلناه حطاما فظلتم تفكهون إنا لمغرمون بل نحن محرومون أفرأيتم الماء الذي تشربون أأنتم أنزلتموه من المزن أم نحن المنزلون لو نشاء جعلناه أجاجا فلولا تشكرون أفرأيتم النار التي تورون أأنتم أنشأتم شجرتها أم نحن المنشئون نحن جعلناها تذكرة ومتاعا للمقوين فسبح باسم ربك العظيم فلا أقسم بمواقع النجوم وإنه لقسم لو تعلمون عظيم إنه لقرآن كريم في كتاب مكنون لا يمسه إلا المطهرون تنزيل من رب العالمين أفبهذا الحديث أنتم مدهنون وتجعلون رزقكم أنكم تكذبون فلولا إذا بلغت الحلقوم وأنتم حينئذ تنظرون ونحن أقرب إليه منكم ولكن لا تبصرون فلولا إن كنتم غير مدينين ترجعونها إن كنتم صادقين فأما إن كان من المقربين فروح وريحان وجنة نعيم وأما إن كان من أصحاب اليمين فسلام لك من أصحاب اليمين وأما إن كان من المكذبين الضالين فنزل من حميم وتصلية جحيم إن هذا لهو حق اليقين فسبح باسم ربك العظيم سبحان الله بحمده سبحان الله العظيم سبحان الله بحمده سبحان الله العظيم سبحان الله بحمده سبحان الله العظيم. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the barakah of Surah Waqi'ah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts barakah in our wealth, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the dunya that is sufficient for us and that is good for us, and that is good for our family and for our next future progeny. Oh Allah, put barakah in it. Oh Allah, give us more and give us an abundance. Oh Allah, don't make us dependent on anyone except you, Ya Allah. Allahumma kfina bihalalika an haramik wa aghnina bifadlika amman siwak. Allahumma kfina bihalalika an haramik wa aghnina bifadlika amman siwak. Allahumma kfina bihalalika an haramik wa aghnina bifadlika amman siwak. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give shifa to all of those people who are sick from our community, who have requested for dua. Some of our community members have lost their loved ones. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to elevate their state into the highest ranks in Jannatul Firdaus. And oh Allah, forgive their shortcomings, excuse all their shortcomings, and forgive their sins. Allahumma ghfir lana wa lahum. And oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make every moment of our life better than the previous one, and make the best moment of our lives when we are meeting you, Ya Allah, when we are ready to meet you, Ya Allah. اللهم إنا نسألك من خير ما سألك من نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، ونعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذك من نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. أنت المستعان وعليك التكلان، ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون، وسلام على المرسلين، والحمد لله رب العالمين. Inshallah, Brother Muzaffar will continue with the rest of the adhkar. Today, the adhan is at 7:50, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. رب أعوذ بك من همزات الشياطين وأعوذ بك رب أن يحضرون. رب أعوذ بك من همزات الشياطين وأعوذ بك رب أن يحضرون. رب أعوذ بك من همزات الشياطين وأعوذ بك رب أن يحضرون. أفحسبتم أنما خلقناكم عبثا وأنكم إلينا لا ترجعون. فتعالى الله الملك الحق لا إله إلا هو رب العرش الكريم. ومن يدع مع الله إلها آخر لا برهان له به فإنما حسابه عند ربه إنه لا يفلح الكافرون. وقل رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين. فسبحان الله حين تمسون وحين تصبحون وله الحمد في السماوات والأرض وعشيا وحين تظهرون. يخرج الحي من الميت ويخرج الميت من الحي ويحيي الأرض بعد موتها وكذلك تخرجون. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله. وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون. هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم. سلام على نوح في العالمين إنا كذلك نجزي المحسنين إنه من عبادنا المؤمنين. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. اللهم إني أمسيت منك في نعمة وعافية وستر فأتمم نعمتك علي وعافيتك وسترك في الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم إني أمسيت منك في نعمة وعافية وستر فأتمم نعمتك علي وعافيتك وسترك في الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم إني أمسيت منك في نعمة وعافية وستر فأتمم نعمتك علي وعافيتك وسترك في الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم إني أمسيت أشهدك وأشهد عملة عرشك وملائكتك وجميع خلقك أنك أنت الله لا إله إلا أنت وحدك لا شريك لك وأن سيدنا محمدا عبدك ورسولك. اللهم إني أمسيت أشهدك وأشهد عملة عرشك وملائكتك وجميع خلقك أنك أنت الله لا إله إلا أنت وحدك لا شريك لك وأن سيدنا محمدا عبدك ورسولك. اللهم إني أمسيت أشهدك وأشهد عملة عرشك وملائكتك وجميع خلقك أنك أنت الله لا إله إلا أنت وحدك لا شريك لك وأن سيدنا محمدا عبدك ورسولك. اللهم إني أمسيت أشهدك وأشهد عملة عرشك وملائكتك وجميع خلقك أنك أنت الله لا إله إلا أنت وحدك لا شريك لك وأن سيدنا محمدا عبدك ورسولك. الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيدا. الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيدا. الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيدا. آمنت بالله العظيم وكفرت بالجبت والطاغوت واستمسكت بالعروة الوثقى لا انفصام لها والله سميع عليم. آمنت بالله العظيم وكفرت بالجبت والطاغوت واستمسكت بالعروة الوثقى لا انفصام لها والله سميع عليم. آمنت بالله العظيم وكفرت بالجبت والطاغوت واستمسكت بالعروة الوثقى لا انفصام لها والله سميع عليم. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبسيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم نبيا ورسولا. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبسيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم نبيا ورسولا. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبسيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم نبيا ورسولا. حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم 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 اللهم إني أسألك من فجاءة الخير وأعوذ بك من فجاءة الشر اللهم أنت ربي لا إله إلا أنت خلقتني وأنا عبدك وأنا على عهدك ووعدك ما استطعت أعوذ بك من شر ما صنعت أبو لك بنعمتك علي وأبو بذنبي فاغفر لي فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت اللهم أنت ربي لا إله إلا أنت عليك توكلت وأنت رب العرش العظيم ما شاء الله كان وما لم يشأ لم يكن ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم أعلم أن الله على كل شيء قدير وأن الله قد أحاط بكل شيء علما اللهم إني أعوذ بك من شر نفسي ومن شر كل دابة أنت آخذ بناصيتها إن ربي على صراط مستقيم يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك أستغيث ومن عذابك أستجير أصلح لي شأني كله ولا تكلني إلى نفسي ولا إلى أحد من خلقك طرفة عين اللهم إني أعوذ بك من الهم والحزن وأعوذ بك من العجز والكسل وأعوذ بك من الجبن والبخل وأعوذ بك من غلبة الدين وقهر الرجال اللهم إني أسألك العافية في الدنيا والآخرة اللهم إني أسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في ديني ودنياي وأهلي ومالي اللهم استر عوراتي وآمن روعاتي اللهم احفظني من بين يدي ومن خلفي وعن يميني وعن شمالي ومن فوقي وأعوذ بعظمتك أن أغتال من تحتي سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. Selamun Aleyküm ve Rahmetullahi ve Berekatuhu.